Let me just take you quickly to what my district looks like. And I can tell you that the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act has been nothing but positive. And so I feel bad for my friends that haven't had that experience. But this is reality of what actually happens in the Indiana 2nd District. I would take you to a place where there's hardworking Hoosiers, middle-class families in Indiana, and this is what I see with them. Working families that really benefit from the double tax credit that we talked about earlier. A remarkable 3.5% unemployment rate, which is lower than the national average. A great American manufacturer in my district named Smokercraft has raising wages. They've been awarding bonuses and reinvesting capital. I've got a community bank not only raising wages, but increasing tuition reimbursement, awarding stock to its employees, and almost by far lower electricity prices across my whole district in the state of Indiana. All of this and more is what Tax Cuts and Jobs Act is about. And so I can proudly and boldly stand here today and talk about the fact that my constituents in my district have more money in their pocket. These are hardworking people, hardworking Hoosiers. They're not the 1% that you all have been arguing about. One employee at a company I was touring told me just recently that these aren't the benefits that he has right now are not the crumbs, as Speaker Pelosi told them and told the country. It's real money for him, and it's real money for his family. And so, Dr. Eakin, just wanted to ask you, given the dynamics of what you just heard about one place in this country, what do you believe could have been the primary drivers of what I'm seeing as economic growth in the last 2 years? Because surely what I'm seeing can't be a nuance, and it can't just be coincidence, and it cannot have happened by accident.
I think there are a couple things to point to. One that hasn't been talked much today, but is enormous, has been the deregulatory efforts of the Trump administration. During the 8 years of the Obama administration, it enacted a costly regulation at an average rate of 1.1 per day. The total self-reported cumulative cost of those regulations was $890 billion, over $100 billion each year. And in the first 2 full years of the Trump administration, that regulatory burden has declined by $1 billion. So it essentially just stopped it in its tracks. In all of the business surveys, this is a key component of what they perceive as a better business climate, probably reflected in your district. The second, which I outlined in much more detail in my testimony, was the sort of increase in business investment, more rapid economic growth, feedbacks to tentatively productivity, and certainly we've seen wages rising. The timing of that coincides with the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. Some of that may diminish over time, right? Could be just short run, but the incentives on the business investment side are quite strong, and I'm hopeful will persist, but time will tell.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because I am very thankful to this president, to President Trump, for coming in, and with the Republican majority at the time, one of our first priorities was repeal regs and set people free to do what they want to do, to hire. We're a very large manufacturing district, one of the largest in the country. We export. We're the 5th largest exporter. And I saw that in the state of Indiana as well when Mitch Daniels was our governor, and we had an opportunity to come into our state, roll back those regs. Investment boomed and skyrocketed. There was an uptick in employees as well, and I very much appreciate that. Appreciate this administration's effort on that as well. Thank you for your comments, and I yield back my time, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
I thank the gentlelady. The